What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about OnyxCoin today, XCN USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about 1.5 cents with about 8 hours, 47 minutes left of this day, the 25th of July. Finding higher lows still, looking like we want to break out of this trajectory, but that's okay if we do. Understand, it's okay if we get below this trend line. I wouldn't want to see us get below this low. In all fairness, I didn't want to see us get below here, but everything's fine still no matter what. But I wouldn't want to see us get below that low because then we're taking out our higher lows. We don't want to see that, okay? Not that you can't come back from that. You definitely can, but it's just not ideal, right? And looking at this here, I think that we are just shaking out. The fact that Bitcoin's down 2.5% and we're only down 2.2%, we're down less than Bitcoin. That's abnormal. That doesn't normally happen unless it's a shakeout in the markets with Bitcoin specifically and not with altcoins, right? I mean, the altcoins saw their shakeout the day before, but if this was a true drop, I think that we would be dropping more alongside with Bitcoin and even more than Bitcoin is dropping right now. At least that's my perspective. That's just based on my experience seeing this stuff happen. If we're looking at this on a daily time frame, the MACD has crossed to the downside, and that's okay. You know, maybe what we do is we chill over the weekend and we get the MACD to find support on that zero line, keeping a nice trajectory, higher lows, higher highs with the oscillator, these two lines here. Looking pretty good. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. Just a little setback right now, and that's nothing to be worried about. The stochastics have reset. We're back in the oversold zone. Typically, the stochastics range from overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold. Didn't get overbought that time, unfortunately. Oversold, overbought, oversold. We should be gearing up to get into the overbought zone. I think August is shaping up to be a really good month, and I think that the end of this month of July will also be good as well. I mean, I know so far the end has not been that exciting, but I think that the next week should be rather exciting, and we should see some massive, rapid recovery. If we're looking at this here, we've got lower lows in the RSI with higher lows in the price. That is hidden bullish divergence is actually a good thing. And if we're looking at the where we are in the fibs, high to low, we're right at the golden ratio. Right at the golden ratio. Golden ratio is home base. Take a low to high here. We found support at the golden ratio before. If we take a low to high here, we found support right at the golden ratio as well. Right there, tipped it. I mean, it's perfect, right? We're being constructive. We really are being constructive. And I know that's kind of I don't know if it's ironic. It almost seems inappropriate to say in the wake of a drop that's like, let's see, how much is it so far from our recent high? 25% down overall, maybe even if you want to look at it like that, 27%. I know that in the wake of this 3 days of dumping, it's hard to look at it this way, but it is constructive. Higher lows, you guys. Remember, we were talking about how whenever we pump, we are going to see drops that are 40% or more. This is nothing. This is nothing. This is a 27% drop. When we get higher, when we see these moves that are much higher and we blast off, we will get those 40% corrections. There will be days that are worse than these last 3 days altogether. Okay, understand that. Days. Like, it'll happen in like a fraction of a second. Well, maybe not a fraction of a second, but it'll happen in less than a day, technically. Right? Probably, I should say. As it did back here. Multiple times we had 40% drops. If you did get shaken out by this first one from a high down to the low here, 43% drop, then maybe got shaken out by the next one, which was another 43% drop here, right? And then if you didn't get shaken out by that there was another one that happened over here as well, all the way up. In the meantime, even if you bought the high, that was an extra 211% move. And if you got shaken out on these 40% dumps, you would have missed that entirely. So just saying, it happens. It happens, and it's healthy. Shakes out the weak hands. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. It could be a bad thing if we keep going lower, though. With that being said, we might go a little bit lower, but I would prefer it if we didn't go below this low here. I think that I want to say vital. I don't mean to be dramatic, but I want to say it's vital that we don't go below that low, actually. Looking at this here on a 15-minute time frame. 15-minute time frame. Nice wick. Very nice wick to the downside. Let's look at this with some volume on it. Coinbase here. Yeah, you got some good volume on that, man. That was an attempt. We might not go lower, you guys. We really might not go lower. And understand, it's actually very bullish. Let's get on the 4-hour time frame here. This doesn't mean that it has to work out this way. Maybe it's the daily time frame. But it is very bullish to see what they call a partial decline, which is where you reach for this trend line, but you don't actually hit it. I guess, however, we have hit it, haven't we? So whatever, we hit it. The fact that we hit it 3 times, that makes me think that we will go below it inevitably, right? The first time we had a positive reaction, second time we have a positive reaction. I would expect here it's going to be a lackluster reaction. Then we break through it. Maybe we find a double bottom, slightly lower low, and then we recover. That's what's going to happen. At this point in time, the fact that we've touched it 3 times makes you think that we will break through it. That's not always a guarantee. Don't take that to the bank. That's not how it works. But if we look at this in another example, let's just see here, right? From a low here, 1 touch, 2 touches here. Once you hit it the 3rd time right here, it was all over but the crying. And then once the crying started, that was actually the best time to buy. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, after the 3rd touch, normally I'm a little bit skeptical as to if that holds. But it can hold. It's very possible that it does hold. Looking at the 4-hour time frame. Did we do the 1-hour time frame yet? We just looked at the daily. The 1-hour MACD looks good, but bearish overall. Stochastics look like they want to turn up from here. RSI looks like they want to turn up as well. So we probably do move up, I would think, into the weekend. Are we going to start off next week to a downside? That might be what we do. Because at this point in time, you're pointed upwards with the RSI. And I think we continue growing at least until Saturday. Maybe Sunday and Monday are dump days, and then we recover the rest of the month going into August, maybe. Just thinking out loud here. But it looks like we're at an area where we will find support. So if we're finding support, where are we going to go? Might be a good question to ask. Let's see here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. High to low. Come on now. There we go. 382. Perfect. Probably just above the 382. 1.68 cents, maybe even as high as 1.73 cents. We know XCN likes the 0.5 area, so something in that zone. Find resistance there. The area that once we were looking to hold as support will provide resistance likely. And then we'll probably come back down, reset, get a double bottom, have some form of bullish divergence on our 4-hour RSIs, MACD, stochastics, all that stuff. We actually do have bullish divergence here already, which would at least, the bullish divergence would at least be good for a move that's above about 1.57 cents, which isn't that crazy. But I mean, think about it this way, right? If we're getting above this 4-hour low close, we're getting above that 4-hour high close, we'll probably be moving up to this area. So even without the divergence, but that just helps identify that, yeah, we probably are going to this area here. Don't get too excited. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if we move up, if you're planning on buying, you should just get in now. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I think this is an ample opportunity here. If you don't buy now, you're setting yourself up, I think, for FOMO, where you might buy here, and then it'll likely come back down to this area. I just think, if you don't buy here, you have no business buying here, right? Make your bed and lay in it right now. Choose. If you don't want to buy, that's okay. I don't blame you. It's hard to buy whenever we're in moments of downside, but I think you can see that things are slowing down. Absolutely, right? Tenacious movement, wicks moving, a little bit of volatility, and now you're getting a double bottom, higher lows, pushing down without any volume coming in, right? And in fact, whenever we look at this, we really dissect this on a 15-minute time frame. A lot of volume came in on that big wick to the downside there. So I think that we are reversing a little bit here. We got a deep retracement, didn't we? Let's look. This is an insignificant time frame, but still, yeah, all the way down to the 886. Perfect. I would think that we do move up higher, but just a little bit. And again, moving up higher a little bit does not mean FOMO, okay? You can if you want to, but just tell yourself, if you're not buying here and you end up buying here, tell yourself, I will not sell if it comes back down here. I didn't have the nuts to buy down here, or the whatevers if you're a lady, but if you buy up here, you do not sell there. It's okay to buy the relative high because it's only relative. Only relative for a day or 2 or 3, maybe a week at the most, right? It's not going to be a long time lived, but it's not okay to buy the high and sell the low, okay? It's okay to buy the low, which you're doing right now if you buy the low. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. But looking at the daily time frame here, 1.5 cents right now. If we take a high to a low, the area, and look at that, we found support right at this 236. We really might not go below this low at all. But the next area to attack would be prices that are above 3 cents, 3.4 cents, 4.4 cents, something up in here. And then in no time at all, we will be seeing 5 cents to 9 cents. I know that the timing has been off with these predictions, right? We've been calling for these targets since freaking April, you guys. I know. But patience, okay? Patience. That's all I ask. That's all you should ask of yourself, is to have some patience. Things will work out. Things will pay off only if you're patient. I got nothing else for you, and inevitably, of course, we are still going to 26 to 32 cents. That's not off the table. That's given. I hope nobody's concerned with that. 26 to 32 cents. It's the only logical area that I could see us topping off on our next move, right? Which we're starting after we break out of this zone here, which we're just condemned by forever, it seems. But once we break out of this zone, the next area, really the area that we should be considering strictly is just 26 to 32 cents. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, please. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all. I'll see you on the next one. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.